The following podcast contains explicit language.
What's going on, Hive Minders? Welcome back to the Mind Meld, a podcast hosted by Mason Burns.
Hello, hello.
And me, J.S. Price. The Mind Meld is a lively discussion about yours and our favorite stoner thoughts, pop culture references, video games, and more. Or, as we like to call it, an hour of your lives that you're never going to get back. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and it was good to know you.
Yeah.
Mason.
Hello.
Episode 7, dude. How was your week?
Episode 7. Back to asking me. We don't have a guest this time, so...
We don't have a guest. Yeah, I'm back to actually caring about your well-being.
My week. I don't know. I feel like it was pretty up and down. Because I
feel like you had a lot going on this week.
Yeah, right? But I feel like very generally, I always think... I always, like, whenever... I call my dad once a week. And whenever I talk to my dad, I have a very, like, positive outlook on what's going on in my life. Because, like, I want to be seeing... my life positively.
Yeah.
But definitely like day-to-day frustrations get to me, but like I think overall it's always a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think throughout like the week, as I've kind of been like observing you and checking in with you, I think something that you do which is good is that you acknowledge like your lows.
Yeah.
And you're like you
100%.
voice like that you're not feeling good or that you're not doing good or you're like this is not great. And it's like that's a good thing to do.
Because for me, I just like when I feel frustrated, it's very obvious when I feel frustrated. It's very, very clear.
Yeah.
Like I'm one of those people, like I wear my emotions right on my sleeve.
Sure.
Like I am very much like if I'm feeling frustrated, a lot of people can feel the vibes and they know what's going on. I don't like hide that stuff at all.
Yeah.
And that's like a positive and a negative, right?
Yeah.
Because like you can obviously when I'm in like a more professional environment and I'm like being more emotional, it's like it can become a problem, but not necessarily a problem. It can become a barrier to solving problems.
Sure,
more so, right? But I think overall it's positive. I praise myself pretty consistently.
Sure,
I'd probably say once an hour I evaluate how I'm feeling and what I can do to make myself trend more positively.
Okay,
that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's good. I also feel like there's nothing wrong with just like accepting that you're just like not in a good place and being
exactly.
That's fine.
That's
like,
really what it is.
And maybe you can't make it positive, and that's fine. You just gotta like live in
the moment.
Yeah. And the fact that like things are shitty right now, but you know you have people around you that are gonna be we're here for you.
Yeah, that's the thing for me is that I feel like I go to sleep being like today was a positive overall day.
Okay.
I positive like for the past week every day I've felt that way.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. What about you? How are you feeling? I want to check in with you
I
as
just
well.
like before everything, I will never forget the one time that you were frustrated with me because you already had a lot on your plate and I was asking you about if you could like take somebody out of my line or something at work and you were like you turned and looked at me and you're like, JS, I can't right now. I have a lot going on.
Yeah.
I don't think I can like do this right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. Like, I'm so sorry, man. Like in my head, I was like, I feel really bad right now.
Well, like for me, it's like I always want to help people. And so like when I get in that state of I have a lot going on and I'm overwhelmed, it has to be a lot of stuff.
Sure.
It has to be a lot of stuff for me to really feel that way. And for me, it's more like, so I guess that's really just what it is that I have to have a lot going on for me to feel that way. But also it's like, I know when it becomes unmanageable.
Yeah.
I know when if I were to take one more thing on, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I get you.
So like, that's really what it is for me. And that kind of goes back to like what you were saying towards like, or what I was saying is that like, I'm very like, people can feel my moods. And I kind of like, I do that partially on purpose because I think that it's like, hiding your emotions to other people makes it harder for them to be on your wavelength. Does that make sense?
No,
I want people to be on my wavelength. Or at least understand my wavelength.
Yeah.
And so if I'm like just more open emotionally, like boom, like there you go. People know what's going on.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that you have like, I mean, there's just something that's very nice about knowing that you have people that like can see your emotions and are there to be like, if you need anything, like let me know.
Yeah, exactly. You know but like, I'm the kind of person to always have a lot on my plate. I feel like,
dude,
it's just how I function.
100%.
Yeah. But how was your week?
My week was pretty good.
I feel like I haven't seen you very much recently.
I know, dude. We talked about this, and I do kind of feel bad about this. I was thinking about it because we definitely like had a short conversation about it outside of work, but we haven't we have our thing on Mondays where we record the podcast.
We have our weekly thing that we see each other, hang out for like 2 hours.
But I guess I kind of just got it in my head that I was like, he's got a full-time job. He's doing school. He doesn't have a lot of time to hang out. So I think that, the podcast is kind of our designated hangout time.
Which it definitely is.
It definitely is. But I guess I didn't consider in my head. I was like, oh, maybe I should ask him because I definitely do want to hang out.
That's always the thing. This is something I actually wanted to bring up, where it's like when stuff like that happens. Yeah. At least for me, I like to be very precise with my time, I guess is the way that I'll put it. If I have something productive I need to be doing, I have like the time to do it. Yeah. But like every time I have downtime, I just get confused. like does that make sense? Like how do you like structure your downtime? Like I feel like I get confused whenever I just have free time.
It's become a lot easier now because I feel like I have such a busy week constantly. And actually that goes back into like kind of how my week was. That I feel like I had a very I feel like with the podcast and everything else that's going on in my life, I feel occupied at every moment.
Oh, 100%. I'm on that wavelength.
And when I'm not, I feel like I want to occupy that time. Like here's the thing is that like I have multiple outlets that I can use to occupy my time if I have free time, and I just get to pick and choose, right?
Yeah.
So obviously I have school and work, which are like
those are set times.
Yeah. Those are like primarily those are set times in terms of what I have to do. I know that I have to edit the podcast, and I know that I have to practice bowling. So those are two things that immediately I'm like, if I have free time, and I'm like, if I don't want to do homework, or if I have free time and I'm just like, I want to kill time, I'm like, I'll go bowling or I'll start working on the podcast.
You're like this is something that I want to work on in my free time.
Exactly.
And then what past that, right? It's like what's going on past that.
And then
See, and like that's where I get confused. It's like after I get past the things that I need to get done, because like I would consider practicing bowling and editing the podcast things that you need to get done still, right? Like it's still leisure time,
really,
but it's still things that like need to get done. I mean, that's how I would think. At least that's how I would think about practice.
Maybe
but that's how I'm structured. Is that like
I guess so.
Always, like if I don't have something productive to be doing, I get like lost in my time. Like I was thinking about this the other day. When I feel like I developed ADHD over COVID. It's probably not true, right? But like I think it got worse because I've always had a second monitor.
Sure.
But I got into this weird mindset of I need to be maximizing my time, and so I would be playing a game and have a YouTube video up on the other side because I was like, I need this, but it would be the way I would do it would be different. So I would be playing a game
because I feel like that's a pretty common. Like I would
think so.
What?
But like no, it's a common thing.
I mean, I think it is a common thing because like I mean I do it too. I play a video game, have a YouTube video. Miguel does it. I feel like a lot of people do that.
No, but like from the way I thought about it was that I only have a set amount of leisure time in my day.
Sure.
And so I don't want to choose between watching a YouTube video and playing a game. So I choose to do them at the same time. Like that's why I would do that. Does that make sense? Is that like
I guess, but after a certain point, like, are you really retaining any of the information or anything that's coming out of the YouTube video?
And that's where it gets interesting.
Because for me, it's just there's a.
I know. I could tell that you just found it.
I just found it.
Staring at it.
Because for me, it's just like it's background noise.
You see, and that's the difference for me. Is that when I have a YouTube video
there's
on...
There's no shot you're like actually listening.
When I have a YouTube video on, most of the time, or it's a movie or something, most of the time... Oh, we might get a clap. He's going to try to kill this bug. Oh,
I didn't want to clap in front of the mic, so I just tried to like kill it with my finger.
That would have been impressive.
That would have been impressive.
Yeah, but like the way I do it is most of the time if I'm watching a video or a movie, you're right. Like most of the time, like if I'm playing something more intense, I'm not going to retain that information. But if I'm playing like an MMO, what I'll do is I'll hyper focus on the MMO for 15 minutes and then I'll hyper focus on the video for 5 and then I'll go back to hyper focusing on the MMO. Does that make like so instead of having it be background noise, I flip-flop my brain in terms of what I'm focusing on?
I guess so, but that's what I mean is that like I'll do a similar thing, but I'm not in the time that I'm hyper focused on the video game. I'm not retaining any information
from the video.
Yeah, and at that point, I feel like I have to go back and find out what I missed.
But like, why do you put on the video? Does that make sense? Because I'll listen to music while I'm playing games, but it's different than when I put on a video.
After a certain point.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it kind of depends on the video game. Like if I'm playing Minecraft or Terraria, I'll put on a video.
Okay.
Just because I don't think the background noise is all that important.
Yeah.
But for things like Apex or Valorant or CS2 or anything that's more focus oriented,
like moment to moment.
Yeah, but that's also the thing. I mean, like, what's really funny is that I care a lot about this simply because I've watched a lot of Shroud and did not realize how important it is to me. And like, sound cues are insanely important.
Oh yeah,
I rely on sound so heavily.
Yeah,
and ever since I started paying attention to that, I'm able to tell like where people are, especially in Apex. Like that was like the craziest thing, being like, oh, they're above me, or oh, they're below me.
So that's the thing for me is I use the sound cue very basically. I don't really think about it very complex. Partially, but also for me, it's just like I just rely on fucking instinct. Someone comes on my screen, I am shooting that bitch as fast as physically possible.
That's fucking crazy.
But when I'm thinking about sound, in Valorant, I know whose footsteps are whose. Each agent has a different footstep sound.
Yeah.
And you can tell who it is.
See, now that's crazy to me. I can only pin, I mean, obviously I haven't played Valorant as much as you have.
Yeah.
But also for me, it's just like, it's footsteps.
Yeah, walking.
You know what I'm saying?
Walking.
Like I can hear the footsteps and I'm like, oh, they're coming from this direction. But I can't hear the footsteps and be like, KO's coming from this direction. He's probably going to deploy a knife. And
what? KO's footsteps are little servos, like wee 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 wee. So it's like it sounds really easy. Oh, do it.
No, it's too far away now.
It's gonna be a recurring thing of us just like pausing in the middle to see if we can clap this fly.
For those of you guys who aren't watching the video or whatever it is, there's a fruit fly, like a single one that is just floating around.
It's so close to us.
It's so close to us, and I want to fucking destroy it.
I can tell you want to eviscerate it. I can see it.
I had the hatred.
I could see it
in my soul for this. It's right in front of you.
Dude, I know.
Wait,
I'm not gonna make an effort to do it. I've lost all motivation to do that.
Motivation?
I got one.
Okay, maybe I'll be the one to do it. Whenever it comes back around.
We'll see. No, anyway. But I don't know. I listen to music while I'm playing any game. Like if I'm idling and doing nothing, I listen to music doing anything.
I can't listen to music while playing Valorant or Apex or CS or anything sound based because I'm entirely reliant.
Focus on it.
I am.
Well, because it's important. It's important information for the game, for the flow of the game.
It's important information. Yeah. I think that's also like. I mean, obviously, I'm not nearly as good as you at Valorant, but I think that's what helps me become a better player.
Oh,
is like if.
To take the extra cues.
Yeah, I'm like, Mason can listen to music and like play the game because he's good enough to like know, he has good map knowledge, he has good awareness, like he knows what to do, so he can just like he can entirely get rid of this aspect of the game
and still function
well. I cannot. I need that aspect of the game because it helps me like have a smidge of skill. You know, dude, what I'm saying?
Do you know? I'm assuming you know who Hatsune Miku is.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, I used to listen to so much Hatsune Miku while I was playing Valorant.
Wait,
because
no,
really, a shit ton. Because for me, since I don't understand what they're saying, it's so much easier just to blur it out as noise. Whereas and then I really like the rhythm game. I think the rhythm game is really fun.
Yeah, sure.
And so I I don't know. I think the music is okay, but I think the rhythm game is really fun, and so the music helps me hyper focus because I have to hyper focus on the rhythm game, and so when I'm listening to Miku, I get in my hyper focus mode. Yeah, that's just kind of how it works, and I love it.
Sorry, it smells so good.
I can tell. Yeah,
I love food so much. Anyway,
yeah, no, Hatsune Miku helps me hyper focus.
That's crazy. Yeah. Dude.
I have some old Valorant clips of me just popping off, and Hatsune Miku's just
that's really funny. That's really funny, actually.
Just popey just goes off.
Dude,
you know
I would love to see that.
Yeah,
that's
they're
crazy.
Pretty good. They're pretty good clips. I used to have a playlist that I made myself, but I think I deleted it at some point because I was so why am I listening to Hatsune Miku this consistently? Yeah,
dude. You want to know something funny? Mm-hmm. This is completely off topic,
no,
but
go ahead.
It's in relation to how my week has gone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I had an epiphany. I had a realization recently. Sorry, hold on. I'm going to adjust my chair real quick.
Do it. Right. Leave us in suspense.
Chair adjusted. Okay. So, I bowl for sport.
Yep.
I bowl a lot. I really enjoy bowling. I was at League last Thursday.
Yeah.
and I fucking realized something. I was like, oh, I've been holding the ball wrong this whole time.
What?
I've been actively throwing.
What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
So I can't. The best way that I can think to describe it.
Yeah.
Are you familiar enough with baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way that I was holding it, imagine like holding a knuckleball, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Like you are knuckling this thing,
yeah,
right?
You're like the way you're holding it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there for that.
That's how basically I had my fingers in the bowling ball. So
Okay.
I was knuckled up. You know what I'm saying?
you were knuckles
like
in.
my fingers were forward, and I was losing balance of the ball a lot. Is what was happening. What I realized is I took like a more like, I guess, like fastball grip to it, where I actually I was palming it.
Yeah, okay.
And I had my
Are your fingers in the holes?
My fingers are in the holes, and I pull back so that there's like actual leverage working against my fingers, and I can wrap my hand around the ball better.
Yeah.
What I realized is that helps me get better control over the ball and get more revs.
Yeah, you have like more surface area of your fingers touching, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And I realized this at the very end of my first game, and I was like, oh, like I'm a moron.
Did that derail the way you play, or did it like make it better?
Oh, I bowled 4 strikes immediately in the second game. I'm like, the second I realized what I was doing wrong, I was like, this makes sense. I'm a fucking moron.
That's awesome.
I was like, bowling makes sense now.
You're like, oh,
I get it.
yeah. You had your oh god, you had your moment where you were
had
just
my
like,
moment.
this is it.
Yeah, dude.
I love that.
No, it was crazy.
That's wild. I feel like I just like when I grab the bowling ball, I just like put my fingers in that bitch and I just grab it.
Well,
like
I mean,
a crane.
you're also throwing a house ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I also like I'm also like throwing it's completely different than the way you throw it.
Yeah, because here's what I hadn't considered, and what makes more sense to me now is that when you're a one-hander, I'm a two-hander, so I only I don't put my thumb in. I just do my ring and my middle finger.
Hand, yeah.
Yeah. People who throw with one hand, they put their thumbs so far in the ball, and they only have the tips of their middle and ring finger in the ball. Like it's really like their thumb is pulling back on those other 2 fingers.
Yeah.
So their hand is
you're like
their fingers are so far apart.
You're like this almost.
Yeah.
Or like this. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that forces them into a position where their hand is like really like they have to have more surface area over the ball. And I hadn't considered that because I don't have my thumb in the ball.
Yeah, it's a very like physics thing. That's really interesting.
And then when I thought about it more, I was like, oh, this makes sense. I'm an idiot.
Yeah. I'm an idiot. No,
Yeah.
I mean you've learned.
Yeah, I have
You've learned.
And then I also got a new ball recently, which I'm very excited
I know.
about.
Is that the Fanta one or the grape one?
No, it is not. The grape one, very cool. The tropical surge.
Sounds like a fucking Mountain Dew flavor.
Dude, it's crazy because I was talking to Miguel about this. And Miguel was like, "Why do your bowling balls sound like Destiny exotics?"
Yeah, they do.
Dude, so here's I'm gonna get really nerdy with you.
Oh Lord.
So the newest ball that I got is the Storm Absolute.
Okay.
It is an asymmetrical hybrid. So it's 2 parts.
I don't know what that means.
So it's 2 parts solid reactive resin and 1 part pearl.
Okay.
I could be getting that wrong, but
Close enough though.
So that's why it's a hybrid, because typically pearl ball, the best way that I can describe it to somebody who like
doesn't know
is pearl balls are meant to they're both made to be like reactive balls, so they're both meant to like snap really hard, but bowling balls that have a pearl coating are meant to go farther down the lane and snap way harder.
Weird.
So they're supposed to go straight and then just like fucking
just blast the curve,
like curve on a dime.
Yeah.
Reactive balls that aren't pearl and are just solid are not necessarily meant to do that. They're supposed to.
I should learn the physics behind that.
Yeah,
because that's really interesting. Because it's all of the physics behind it really just comes down to the ball is moving and spinning at a certain rate, and then at some point the friction stopping it from going straight, and then the friction is low enough on the pearl, and that's why it curves so hard, right?
Well,
like that's like the concept is like the friction gets low enough to where it just starts curving really hard because it like pushes a certain way.
It's because of the material that's on the outside.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the friction coefficient of the material is different, and so it hits a threshold point where it starts curving like crazy.
But that's why it's called a reactive ball.
Yeah,
because
that's so interesting.
the way that it reacts to the fact that there is less oil at the end of the lane.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Yeah,
the friction coefficient, baby.
I love bowling.
I love
There's
physics.
something, dude. That was my day today. I got up at 7 a.m.
Damn.
Went to my 8:30 a.m. classes. Got off all my classes at around noon. went home, changed, went bowling.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know you went bowling before you came into work.
Today.
What time did you work?
I worked at 2. So
okay.
I went bowling for an hour from like 12:30 to 1:30, drove to work, worked, went home, changed, brought everything here, and now we're doing this.
That's an intense day.
It's a long day.
It's like a long day for sure. That's wild. I mean, bowling is life, baby.
Keeping myself busy.
That's true. I mean, you're keeping your day filled with fun things. Except work.
Fun.
Work is mandatory. Like class is productive, so you feel productive. Hopefully.
I fucking hate class.
But like bowling is fun. The podcast, like you're filling your spaces with fun things, I guess, instead of just sitting around and doing nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But that's what I was going to talk about earlier. Is that I like when it comes to filling my time, I would put bowling, like practicing bowling and working on the podcast in the same category as like hanging out with my friends. It's not a necessity.
Yeah.
But it's something that I enjoy doing to fill my time.
Yeah, because I feel like for me, I would consider, especially because like if I would like you know how I have like the Valorant League that I do.
Yeah.
If I consider practicing for that mandatory time.
Yeah.
Like scheduled mandatory time. Whereas like the same thing with like if I edited the podcast, it would feel the same way. It would be mandatory time that I need to get done at a certain point. It would still be fun and engaging.
Yeah, sure.
But like it would still be considered mandatory time for me.
Yeah.
Like that's how I like structure my day instead.
I kind of want more num-nums.
You want another one?
I kind of want more num-nums.
Can you bring us both another cider?
Anna? Could I have more num-nums?
I was trying to figure out a way to not just like gesture to her, be like, bring it over here. Like, you know what I mean? But like I couldn't figure it out, and so I was just waiting for you to decide it was time.
We're drinking blackberry ginger cider.
I'm sorry.
You're wonderful. I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So
mine's not empty.
She just asked for another one. That's so funny. So
thank you. It's better to get it at the same time.
Yeah. I was talking to you about this recently.
Since I started smoking at the same time. Sorry, can we?
Yeah, we can. Wait, hold on.
Hit me with a 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So because I've started smoking, I haven't had a drink like casually or just like drank.
Yeah.
I think since my birthday.
What?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
You haven't had a drink since then?
Dude,
well, I mean, we've had like a beer together, but that's not like...
We had a bonfire after my birthday?
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely got drunk.
Significantly after your birthday?
Okay, that was the only other time that I got like pissed
But like
drunk.
that was like a party. Like, that was like a get-together of people.
Yeah.
It wasn't a casual drink.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, that was the only other time that I think I've gotten drunk. But I just like... I feel like I haven't drank nearly... Oh. Yeah, all right, sir?
Yeah, I just had a burp. I just
feel like
chugged
I've
a lot
been
of
doing
cider.
nearly as much since I started smoking.
Which is true. I've always said this with my buddy Emmett. Me and him have always had the same opinion that we would rather casually smoke than casually drink.
I think that's fair.
Just because we preferred the feeling.
Yeah, no, I think...
it's all a feeling thing.
Yeah, no, it 100% is. I think the feeling of being drunk is fun every so often.
Yeah.
That's why, like... When Halloween comes around, I plan on getting
that's where I'm at too. And I hope that like the new people in our crew understand that we are, at least for me and you, I'm gonna get blasted.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get so fucking drunk.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
are you serious?
Yeah,
like, I'm
dude,
gonna get
you and I are gonna be fucked up.
I was trying to like tell Harrison this earlier, Harry. I was trying to tell him this earlier. I was like, I don't think you really understand like how obliterated I really want to get coming into Halloween. Because I'm the same way. I don't drink that often. I've definitely smoked a lot less recently.
Yeah.
And so I've been like casually drinking more in terms of like buying ciders and those pumpkin ales I've been drinking.
Sure, yeah.
Or like some wine every once in a while, right? But I don't get drunk, right?
Sure.
Unless it's like a get together of people.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I've been trying to set that expectation for the new people that are going to be rolling through. I'll be like, hey, we are going to get fucked up. And when we get fucked up, we get crazy.
What's really funny is that like everybody there, I'm fully accepting of the fact that like, you know, they are going to see me get fucked up. Yeah. And I'm like, that's fine. Because we work with them, like whatever.
Yeah.
The only person
the
only person that I'm worried about is my neighbor.
Lila?
Yeah, Lila.
Is she coming?
Yeah, she's coming.
No way.
Yeah, because
she's gonna see me and be like, "This is the fucking dude."
Yeah,
this is him.
Like, because the only experiences that we've had so far hanging out is like we'll get high together and we'll like have like really good talks and. But
which is probably so pleasant.
Yeah, no, very pleasant.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a fucking psycho when I'm drunk. Like, I don't,
dude.
I don't remember most of the times that I'm drunk, but I've just seen pictures.
Are you okay
if
I talk about it? That one photo specifically.
I don't want to talk about it.
That's fine. I'll leave it vague. That one photo is a very like exactly that like mindset for you. I think
it's just
you don't have to talk about it.
Just so like,
but like I think that photo is that exact moment in your mind that you're thinking of in terms of like the funkiness.
Here's the nice thing is that I think Logan is going to be there.
Oh,
Logan and his partner are going to be there for the Halloween party as well, which is going to be fucking awesome and really helpful because love hanging out with you guys so much and doing like the big party thing. None of you advocate for me like drinking water.
Oh no, dude, I am all in.
Logan,
dude, I am all in on the alcohol.
Logan
when it comes
is
to
the
that
only
kind of
one. Like I love drinking with Logan because every single time he's like, you're not allowed to drink until you drink this water bottle.
I feel like we've had this conversation
fine.
already. It could have even been on the podcast. Where I was like, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I am not that guy.
Yeah.
I am the guy that is taking an extra half shot every time we take one. like that's the kind of shit I do.
That's crazy,
like,
dude.
I go when I decide to drink, I get crazy. I go crazy with it.
You can spend the night for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, like,
I just don't want to have to babysit.
I used to be able to walk home.
Yeah.
But like I'll probably like go walk outside, throw up, and then walk back in. Dude. It's casual.
I'm gonna let anybody spend the night that needs to,
which makes sense, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I am 100% relying, like, love our friends to death. I'm relying on Bonnie and Logan to fucking be our caretakers because I know for a fact that I'm like I will not be able to function.
I'm not that guy. I'm convinced I'm at least 40% of the reason David ended up the way he did that night at the bonfire.
He was so fucked.
Because I drove home that night and I felt fine. But like I'm pretty sure I'm like 40% of the reason that he had as much alcohol as he did on accident.
Dude.
Just because like I don't know. I can hold my alcohol really well. And so, like, when I drink with other people,
I'm scared I'm gonna light on
and
fire.
I drink with other people, and I like get in the mindset of like I want to keep going. People try to pace with me, and so they just get obliterated. But like I can hold my stuff really well. But like when David was basically pacing me, when I'm on my alcohol, which I'm a bigger dude. I can hold my alcohol better than him. He told me he tried to drink pineapple juice the other day, and he almost threw up on the spot.
Dude. Yeah. That's crazy.
Like, it's. I feel like that's such a classic thing, but it's usually not with pineapple with like juice. It's usually with like the alcohol that they drank. Like, cause like I know my sister can't drink Fireball anymore because she had a terrible experience with Fireball.
Really?
I can't drink vodka straight anymore.
Really?
Because I had a really intense. I haven't told the story on the podcast. I've told it multiple times to multiple people, but essentially the way it breaks down, right? Yeah. Is we had this big Costco bottle of vodka. Right? And it was one of our first times.
Oh, it was Costco, so you know it was big.
Yeah. It was one of the first times of me and my friends like drinking together. And I'm pretty sure I've showed you this video. There's a video of me out there. Not out there. It's on my Snapchat. I know exactly where it is. There's a video of me drinking a shot of vodka from a red Solo cup. I filled this red Solo cup to the brim of vodka and drank it in one like sip. And like pure ass vodka, dude. I didn't even chase it with anything,
dude.
Yeah, and so like, and that was the start of the night. That night ended with we did the math the next day, and the math came out to if we split the bottle evenly, it was about 18 shots per person. But I had more, and so
Jesus Christ, dude.
Right. And so I had more that night. That night ended with me tearing apart our couch and our couch cushions, like literally flipping it over because I lost my glasses, and I was literally like sobbing because I was like, I'm gonna fail my classes. I can't see. Like I'm gonna fail, and I'm just sobbing because like I can't find my glasses, and like it was a really intense like moment.
Yeah.
But then like I found them and I mellowed out, and then I like helped our stairs didn't have a railing. I stood at the bottom of the stairs like a human railing, helping my friend get up the stairs.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then I got the spins, and then I heard my friend throw up in the toilet, and I go, haha, loser. And then I get up and I throw up on my floor. Which is just the most instant karma I think I could ever get as a human being is that. Loser. Yeah, that was the most instant karma I think I could have ever gotten as a human being was that.
That's crazy.
He's going, he can't hold his fucking alcohol. And then like just turning over and throwing up on my floor.
That's really funny.
It's a very like It's definitely a core memory for everybody that like was because there was only 3 of us.
Yeah.
Which is why there were so many shots per person.
Yeah.
Like me and my friend Emmett were talking about it recently. We were like, why did we do that? Like, why were we so fucking stupid? Like, we were literally just pulling out of the bottle. That's why we estimated how many shots we all had because we didn't know. And we're like, I was like, I would never do that now. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I would never do that.
Yeah.
I'm past my prime.
Yeah.
When it comes to my alcohol consumption.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
dude, I've only gotten sick twice.
While drunk.
Yep.
Really?
The first time was the first time I ever got drunk.
Okay.
Which was when I lived with Vincent last year. Last year was the first time I ever got drunk.
What?
Yep.
I mean, that was you were still underage, so like it's not like super like crazy.
Don't talk about this. You can't say that out loud.
Oh,
I'm just
my
kidding.
bad.
I don't think it matters.
What's the rule? 6 months past any crime, they can't.
I don't know. Anyway, it was actually oh man, Jesus, time has flown. No, it wasn't last Halloween.
Yeah.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Good Lord, man, time has flown. It was 2 years ago, and I was dressed up as Woody for Halloween.
Nice.
And I got pissed drunk, and I got very drunk. And it was funny because even in my drunken state, I knew my limits because Logan was like, hey, we're gonna like,
what a good friend,
me and some friends, like me and the rest of our friend group are gonna go out to this club, do you want to come with? And in my drunken state I was like, yeah, like let's do it,
let's party,
let's party. And then like on our walk I was like, I don't think I want to do this. And he was like, that's okay, I kind of got that vibe. He was like, that's okay, I kind of got that vibe, let me take you home. And so he took me home.
That's so nice of him.
And I went home that night. I drank more. I threw up, and then I fell asleep in his bed.
I drank more, and then I threw up.
Yeah, and then I fell asleep in his bed.
Wow.
I literally, I didn't even go to my room that night.
That's a homie moment for sure.
I crawled into his bed, and I passed the fuck out.
Wow, that is a homie moment for sure.
Yeah,
Logan has constant homie moments for you, which is like, he is an incredible friend.
I would be dead if it wasn't for him.
He's an incredible
that guy is
homie.
Wonderful.
Yeah, he's a good friend. And
but the second time
obvious.
I ever got sick, I didn't throw up, but it was recently. It was at the first bonfire we did.
I got pretty drunk at that one.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure everyone remembers my moment where I just kind of stepped away and I was laying on the ground.
I think I was peak drunk at that point, so I don't remember it very vividly.
Okay, gotcha.
But I remember you vanishing for a little bit.
Yeah, no, I vanished for a moment. And it was funny because, you know, everybody's like, if you have to throw up, throw up. I hate throwing up. Like, you talked about this with me where you were like,
I don't mind it.
Yeah, you don't mind it, which is kind of psychotic. I'm not going to lie to you.
No.
Like, I mean, maybe it's just me. From what I've heard, a lot of other people share this take where they're like, throwing up, you feel great, you feel better afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't share that. I think throwing up is horrible. I'd rather die than throw up.
I'd rather die.
Like, it's fucking awful.
Oh.
I hate it. So, that night, I had actually counted it.
You counted it? Like the amount of shots, drinks you had?
Well, the amount of... So, I had...
That was the night we had PBFs at the bonfire.
Yep. So, I had like 3 sips of the absinthe, which, if you guys don't know...
I forgot about that.
Is like 70% alcohol.
Oh, I forgot we had absinthe.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. I had like 3 sips of that. I had a PBF, I had a Jaeger and I had 8 Mike's Hards.
8?
8.
Those aren't even that good.
Dude.
How did you drink 8 of them?
I don't know. You know how I know how I drank so much? Sorry, that was a really terrible sentence. You know how I know I drank so much?
Yeah.
Is because the next day, I counted the bottle caps that I had in my pocket.
You had them all in your pocket?
Yeah.
That's actually so funny.
Because I did, even in my drunken stupor, I didn't want to litter.
That's part of the thing too, is that Mike's Hard Lemonade have so much sugar, so you
That's
feel
the thing,
worse.
Is that I probably got sick off the sugar.
Yeah, you feel so much worse.
But I had a moment where I just like went off and I laid down, and I knew that in my body, it was like my body wanted to throw up so bad, and that's why I went away from everybody, because I was like I can't, if I think about anything other than telling myself not to throw up, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
So I went into like a Zen state. I like went and laid down under the stars, closed my eyes, and I was like, don't throw up, don't throw up, don't throw up, don't throw up. And I did that for like 5 minutes.
That's crazy.
Until I felt better, and I was like,
that's crazy that you would do
it.
that rather than throw up.
Yeah.
Like that, in my opinion, I just got some word from the referee. It was not 5 minutes.
Well, it definitely wasn't by me. I mean, yeah, I was out for a while, but I mean, like,
no, dude, was that when I was stepping in the fire?
I just turned to the kitchen and Owen's just shaking her head. I love that.
Is that when? Yeah, she said it's like 30.
No, I was gone for a minute.
I was just saying, was that when I was stepping in the fire?
Yeah, because you were also
I feel like you weren't there for that.
No, I watched you do it because I was watching you and Emilio and Jason be a bunch of fucking morons.
I still have marks on my legs from that night, from when I stepped in the. Dude, I'm still pissed I didn't get a photo. I wish I got a photo in the flames. You know what I mean? That would have been so fucking sick.
Dude,
I was already in the fire.
You were burning your legs.
Let me take a look.
Dude, you're going to take a look right now?
Yeah, I'm going to take a look right now.
You're burning your legs. Dude, I mean, that's just like there was... Probably fine. I mean, probably fine.
Yeah. I mean, dude. I was sauced. I forgot about the absinthe that night for sure. And I forgot that was like part of it.
You forgot about like everything that night.
I remember a lot of that night.
Okay.
I've never blacked out.
Really? I blacked out 3 times.
I've never blacked out.
I blacked out.
Even that night I had that very intense amount of vodka, didn't black out. I remember that whole night.
Jesus Christ,
yeah,
dude.
I remember that whole night.
Well, you know what Logan was telling me, actually, is that apparently if you black out once, it gets easier every time.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't remember how he explained it to me.
I would believe it.
But the way that he explained it to me made sense. But yeah, apparently like every time you black out, it gets easier and easier.
Maybe
and
that's
it takes
the goal
less
for
amount of
Halloween.
alcohol. Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, maybe that's the goal for Halloween, is to black out for the first time.
I think that's bad.
I shouldn't call it a goal.
I think maybe you should
I
not
should call
do that.
it like an avoidance.
I think that maybe I should talk to Bonnie and be like, keep a close eye on Mason.
No, dude, I'm getting sauced. If I open the next day, I don't even give a fuck. I'm getting sauced. I'm staying up all night and walking into work drunk.
I'm skipping class 100%.
Really?
There's no way I'm making.
I'm definitely working the next day. Like, there's no way I'm not.
Oh, I'm calling out.
Really?
I plan on skipping school and calling out because
really,
I know that I'm going to get fucked up.
I don't get the really bad hangovers, so as long as I'm like decently in control, it's gonna be fine.
I mean, I don't really get bad hangovers either. I just like to use it as an excuse.
I think
to
I'm like
not do my
over
work.
exaggerating how drunk I'm really gonna get. I feel like I'm gonna like drink a little bit. Oh, did you get it?
I got it.
No.
I got it. Holy! I fucking destroyed that fly.
Yes.
Jesus Christ,
dude,
that was disgusting.
That was our op old day. That's been our op old podcast.
Holy shit!
Fucking no, I think I'm really overestimating how drunk I'm gonna get on Halloween. I'll probably like have a couple shots, start feeling a little wonky, and then decide I don't want to be drunk anymore, and then just kind of chill out. I think that's how I'm gonna be.
Well, here's the thing: is that I kind of made this like a very clear point to everybody that is coming to the party. Is I don't want people to get crossed. You get to choose whether you want to be high or you want to be drunk.
Smart.
We have both options, but you're not going to do both.
Intelligent.
Because the second, like, I'm hosting, the second that not only I but my friends have to be your caretaker is the moment that I'm like, this no longer. It becomes
a different type of vibe.
Yeah, it
100%.
becomes we need to take care of you rather than we're having a good time together.
Especially when getting crossed, because like when you get crossed, that shit could be dangerous.
Exactly.
Like that shit can be very like mentally hurting.
Yep.
Like that can be a very bad time. Yeah, and like, that's 100% reasonable.
Not only is it just like bad for you, but I think
getting crossed is not fun. Like if you do it the wrong, there's like two. Like you can go alcohol weed first or weed alcohol first, and they have two very different feelings. Yeah. Right. And so like I definitely don't think you should do it, but like it's not good.
I'm feeling it. Sorry. This second drink
I don't know what the percentage is on these.
It's 6 something.
For those of us, for
6.7.
Those of you, not us, those of you listening. I mean, I'm listening to you, I guess, as we speak. We're drinking ciders as we go.
I think we talked about this.
We're on our second one. Well, we talked about us getting new ones, but I don't think we ever mentioned it. They're really good, like blackberry ginger cider. I'm a big ginger fan.
So good.
They're so
love
fucking
cider.
good. I'm a big ginger guy.
Really?
Yeah, I think ginger's incredible.
I just like ciders in general.
I used to like hate ginger. I used to think ginger was really like I not hate it, but it was one of those things that I just didn't eat. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, I don't think ginger's like amazing. You know?
I think, well, like now every time I get a sushi, I eat the ginger out of it. Like if I get a sushi from like Fred Meyer sushi goes fucking off. Shout out Safeway and Fred Meyer. $5 sushi Tuesdays at Safeway. $5 sushi Mondays at Fred Meyer.
Can you guys sponsor us?
Shout out
Fred Meyer and Safeway. Can you guys sponsor
sushi
us?
Specifically?
Yeah, guys, use code Mind Meld to get $5 off. That's crazy, dude.
Would that not be goated?
That would be kind of crazy.
Dude, imagine we ever do a Manscaped ad. How funny would that be? I have their underwear.
Dude,
I could show it on screen. Yeah,
I don't think you need to.
I listened to this Valorant podcast.
Yeah, sure.
And they got sponsored by Manscaped a couple times, and I was like, I've been wanting to get like something in that capacity, and so I used
shave
their
your
code.
balls so nice,
dude. I mean, what's the ad? We're just giving them free ads, I guess. But like, what's the ad? It's like, fucking. I don't even. I missed it. Sorry,
dude. I thought you got it.
It was really close.
That's
gonna
really
be so
close.
annoying to listen to. I'm so sorry,
dude. It's all good.
Yeah, I'd be so down to read a Manscaped ad, dude. Or like they got sponsored by like a bong, and so they were like reading, and then like they had someone that was under 21, so they had them turn their camera off, and then read the ad.
Here's the thing: is that I feel like if we ever got sponsored, it would be really funny to do said sponsorships while we're like just really high.
The high episodes.
Yeah, the high episodes.
That would be funny.
I think it'd be awesome.
But I feel like they wouldn't want us to do it because like they have control. They have pretty large control over like
dude?
What we. What? I feel like they would have pretty large control over like the situation we present their product in.
You guys are gonna get 2 special episodes. Sorry to cut you off, but like episode 8 is another 4th episode, so we're gonna get high. And right now I'm definitely getting.
That's next episode.
I'm getting tipsy. Yeah.
Oh Lord, that is next episode. That's gonna.
How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. Yeah, and I've told you recently that like it's been a while since I've smoked weed. I just because I think I said this not last episode but the episode before. I don't take my battery, so I just don't have it really available anymore.
Yep. Good for you.
And I don't know. It's like I don't feel different, I guess is the way that I'll put it.
That's good.
But I think once I smoke and feel the after effects again, that's when I'll notice the difference.
Yeah.
Because like I don't feel different right now. But like I think after I smoke for the first time again, that's when I'll feel the difference.
You know what I've been doing recently? I mean, I think I've talked about it with you, but I just want to bring it up again for the podcast. But like, I have been recently. So I'm gonna tell the whole overarching story. I'm gonna go into
story.
I'm
ready.
I'm ready. The detail, right? Also, real quick before everything, dude, I'm wearing this.
Should we do a fit check?
Dude, this.
Do you want to stand up?
Dude, I kind of do want to stand up. Guys, if you're watching the video, check this shit out.
Yeah,
I'm wearing my cozy moose pants.
I'll narrate.
My tank top.
Yep.
And like this.
Don't call it your tank top. Call it what we call it.
The wife beater.
The wife beater.
I don't be my wife. I don't have a wife.
Can't beat someone that doesn't exist, dog.
Whoa, I'm feeling it. Sorry,
I can tell. I can tell I'm gonna feel that way too. No, he's looking really good. I don't mean to just like completely outs the Spotify or like the audio listeners, but he's looking drippy as hell. Like that coat is you said it you said it earlier. You said it earlier. The coat's pimp. The coat is pimp looking.
The coat is a little bit pimp. It's a little bit.
Yeah.
A tad.
If only you still had the we put it on Bernie.
Oh yeah,
now.
we put it on Bernie.
Yeah.
You guys can't see it very well, but we put Bernie now has a chain with a weed leaf on it.
I love it.
And it spins.
We got it at Spirit Halloween.
We did get it at Spirit Halloween.
We also have I'm not gonna go and grab it, but
Dude,
I'll save it for the high episode.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go and grab it, but I bought like a giant fake joint from Spirit Halloween, and that shit is one of the best purchases I think I've ever made.
Dude, it's fantastic.
I literally look at it and I think,
oh,
we used to be clapping flies out here. I gotta figure that out in my apartment. You can open the window. I just say it's hot in here, low key. Yeah.
Before I go into this whole story that I wanted to, I also just want to Spirit Halloween, fucking crazy. Like kids go to Spirit Halloween, right? They have a straight up dick and balls costume. Like that is crazy to me. And it literally says that. It's like,
does it say dick and balls?
It says dick and balls costume.
You guys were in there for a lot longer than me and Emilio were, so I didn't get to look at everything.
Dude, kids go in there. Yeah. You're kidding me, dude.
But like kids don't go into that side.
It's a fucking Spirit Halloween. Where do you think, like, there's not many options?
I was always a big fan of, I don't mean, just like while we're on it, before we go into your story.
Sure.
I was a big fan of Party City when I was younger to get my costumes, because they had, like, the decals on the wall. You know what I mean? And you could, like, look at, and there was, like, shit ton of them on the wall. And that's how I became a pimp when I was in, like, 4th grade. Is that when I in 4th grade, I'll have to show you a picture of this at some point, and whoever's curious, ask me about it. I'll find this photo in like 4th or 5th.
We could just like throw it. If you send it to me, I'll throw it up on the video for the podcast.
In like 4th or 5th grade, I dressed up as a pimp for Halloween. I had this like purple coat. I had a chain. I had fake money. I had like the hat. Like I looked fucking badass as hell.
That's so.
I was
funny.
Captain America the year before.
Dude, that's really funny.
Yeah.
From Captain America to pimp.
Yeah, dude. Like the costume was literally like pimp.
Dude, that's really funny.
It's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Anyway,
okay, yeah, go into your story.
My story. I don't even remember how we got here to begin with, but recently I had this moment where I was. It was similar to I was playing video games. I needed something to listen to in the background.
Okay.
I found. Sorry, that was a weird ass noise that I just made with my mouth. I found a Minecraft series that looked decent.
Okay.
It was a modded Minecraft let's play, I guess, and I just put it on in the background. But as I was watching it, I was like, dude, these mods are kind of sick. These mods are kind of fire. I was like, I would love to play these. And so I started playing it a little bit by myself, and then I was like, I would love to play this with friends.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I was like, I don't want to pay for a server, so I'm going to have to port forward. And in my head, I was like, that's going to be the hardest part. Forwarding my router is going to be the hardest part.
Which makes sense.
Setting up the server will be not too bad. What I found out was Xfinity, fucking shout out Xfinity, makes it super easy. When I tried to do it like the usual way, it redirected me to the app on my phone, and I was like, oh, okay. And then when I looked at the app, it was like, yeah, there's a thing that's like, port forward your router.
Weird.
And the funny thing is, they even have a subsetting for Minecraft. They're like, oh yeah, are you trying to port forward for video games? Yeah, here's a list of video games that are commonly port forwarded for.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so I selected Minecraft, and it was like, great, here's this for you. And so I immediately was able to just port forward my router.
That's awesome.
It was sick as fuck.
Shout out Xfinity.
Yeah, right?
Sponsor us.
Sponsors, please.
I don't even know if they would ever do that.
That'd be crazy. And so I started up this Minecraft server.
Yeah.
And, dude, I'm like reliving childhood nightmares.
Nightmares?
Right? Dude.
That doesn't sound pleasant.
I added Herobrine.
Oh.
Dude. Let me tell you.
I'm a big Herobrine fan.
Oh, that's where we were getting this from. Sorry. The smoking weed and how frequently.
Oh, okay.
I added a bunch of scary mods. I've been taking, the other night, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go take 4 hits. And then I took 10 hits, and then I came back in.
That's of a joint, correct?
Yeah, of a joint.
That's fucking crazy.
I came back in. I sat down on my computer with my buddy Malcolm. We were playing, and I was losing my shit. I was like, yo, Herobrine is the scariest shit I've ever seen in my whole life. And, that wasn't even the worst part. Here's the thing, is that, with this mod, you, turn around, and he'll be there for a split second, and then he'll disappear. So it makes you uneasy. You're
fuck. Oh my god! He's not there anymore. Did I see him?
The scariest thing that he'll do for sure is you'll see him in the distance. You'll be like, oh shit, and then you'll look at him, and he'll teleport straight forward towards your camera, and then give you blindness.
It's like a Five Nights at Freddy's fucking jump scare.
Yeah, it's a straight up jump scare, which is horrible.
Oh.
But there's 2 other mods that I've added.
Okay.
Which scare the absolute shit out of me. One of them is called The Man from the Fog.
Ew.
What is that? This really tall, dark creature with just this massive gaping mouth.
Ew.
And it spawns at night, and it's relatively docile until you look at it, and then it starts chasing you relentlessly.
Ew, what?
And it makes a horrible noise, and it's so scary.
Could you mimic the noise for me?
I wish I could. I can't.
Is it awful?
It's unreal. It's not
the man in the fog.
Yeah.
From the fog? In the fog?
The man from the fog.
From the fog.
Another similar mod that I added called the Cave Dweller. Similar thing. If you see it, it's horrible. The first time I experienced it, it spawns. You're crawling down, and you're going down, exploring a cave, whatever. You see it. It's like a fucking horror movie thing where it snaps its head to look at you.
Okay.
It makes eye contact with you, and you're there frozen for 2 seconds where you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? And then it starts sprinting at you.
Dude, what the fuck?
And it starts screaming, and you're like,
Well, okay, but it's blocks. So how scary is it really?
I mean, I don't think it could be that scary, but I think the fact that I've been high every time.
Okay, which is fair. That's one of the things I truly miss.
Infinitely more scary.
Yeah, that's one of the things I truly miss about having my pen is being high while gaming. That's one of the things I truly miss.
I am intoxicated at the moment.
That's awesome. I'm happy for you,
dude. I'm happy.
As long as you're happy for yourself, I'm happy for
me. I just got to make sure that I wait.
Are we
gonna
go see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie? By the way, talking about jump scares, are we gonna go see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie when it comes out? Like we have to go see it, right? Yeah, right. Like we have to go see it.
Yes, we are going to see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
We have to go see that.
Yes. You know what I realized recently? It's funny because now that I think about it, it was definitely a thing that people complained about in the beginning, but I hadn't realized it until like literally last night.
For what? Complain about what?
It's rated PG-13.
Oh,
which
really?
I was pissed about. I was like, it's not rated R.
It's for children. Bullshit. It's 100% going to be a children's horror movie.
Which is stupid.
Promise you.
I want it to be stupid? Dude.
Could you tell me the main audience for Five Nights at Freddy's?
Dude, could
you describe to me the main audience for Five Nights just real quick?
Okay, dude. I know you want me to say it's children because it is children.
It's like it's mostly like I'd be like 4th to 8th grade.
Dude, here's the thing. Okay. We've grown up. When the first Five Nights at Freddy's game came out, it was like 2014.
No.
Yes.
No.
I'm not kidding you.
Somebody fact check that.
I'm looking it up. I'll look it up right now.
Because I'm telling you, Five Nights at Freddy's didn't get popular until 2018.
No,
is that not true?
You're absolutely wrong.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because the only reason I say that is because
Nights at Freddy's come out.
Not when it came out, when it got popular.
August 14th, 2014. No, because you know who made it popular? Markiplier. It's still the most viewed video on his channel. And that's the thing.
I didn't watch Markiplier, so I might have just missed the fad, I guess.
Because
for me, my like big Five Nights at Freddy's experience was when I started working in childcare in 2018.
Sorry, not his most popular video. Third most popular video with 113 million views.
That's pretty cool.
113 million.
And that was million.
And
that's the thing is I guess I might have just missed the fad. I guess from me, because I didn't realize it was popular until 2018 when I was working childcare and the kids were playing Five Nights at Freddy's. Like 3rd to 5th grade, we're playing Five Nights at Freddy's on their phone.
But here's the thing, right? Is that for the... Oh my God, do you see it?
No, what?
It's on the fucking...
I think you're imagining.
I missed it. No, it was there. The fly was on my fucking microphone cord. I'm pissed. Anyway.
I'm pissed.
For the people that do know the Five Nights at Freddy's lore, it's visceral.
I don't know very much about it. I know there was like the shoving people in things and them dying.
Scene,
I know that.
Here's the reason I want it to be rated R.
Okay.
Is because for those
is
of
it
you
based
guys
on the first movie, like or first game? Like, what's the context?
It's based around the first game, right?
Okay.
It's based around the first game. For those of you guys who don't know the lore, I don't know it very well. Spoiler:
I know the purple man.
I want the visceral scene of purple guy getting
purple guy
getting like threatened into getting in the Springtrap suit and just getting eviscerated by the spring locks that like close in on his body.
I've definitely heard about that scene.
Yeah, because that's like a pinnacle moment of Five Nights at Freddy's lore.
Yeah, no, I know that one. I watched Game Theory.
Yeah, dude, I just like it's just a theory.
You know what? That's a good point because now that I think about it, I did watch
Bleed Out.
I did watch.
Sorry, that was kind of fricked up.
I did watch Game Theory, or like the Game Theorist, or whatever the channel was called. I did watch that, and I guess I watched that while I was in high school.
Am I allowed to have more num-nums?
Yeah, I think there should be one more in there. Just double check if she's had 2 and if wants a second one.
Have you had 2?
Because there were 6, and so we can each have 2. Do you want the second one?
Do you want the second one? You can have the second one.
I mean, that's up to you. I will let you know that. I mean, you're obviously more than welcome to stay here, but like, there's like to gauge yourself there, just to be on your own wavelength.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm definitely gonna like if I drink another one, I'm definitely gonna like. I hope you don't mind, but I will be here for like another like couple hours before I sober up.
I like your company,
dude. I like your company, dude. You want to hold my hand real quick? Like, we can high five. Dude,
we can high five.
We can high five,
hold my hand?
Also...
We can high five. Yeah. Clockwise.
Dude, you're probably going to have to get up to show her how to... Dude, this is... It's a second occurrence. The oven is terrifying. The oven is horrible. Mason's oven. This is going to be a recurring thing. For the time that Mason lives in this apartment and we are recording this podcast, you want the last one? Yes, please. I would love the last one. The forever bit will be that Mason's oven is horrible and terrifying. Oh, man. That's really funny.
Dude,
what?
I'm just going to scream because I'll get in your microphone. How wacky will that be?
Dude, it'll be wacky.
How wacky do we feel?
I feel a little bit
sounds
wacky.
Funky. I mean, dude, I don't know, man. I don't really think Five Nights at Freddy's is that interesting. Is that a hot take?
I think that is a little bit of a hot take. Because here's the thing: is that like even though I think
it's I don't know, man.
Here's the thing: is that I think even
doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't intrigue me. I'm a JRPG player, and I think there's better lore out there to be intrigued
I guess.
in.
I think that the well, here's the thing: is that I think that the games, like they encourage the player and the viewer to figure out what's going on.
To fill the holes.
Yeah,
that makes
because
sense.
They have how many games now? There's so many games.
But
not all of them are super clear in terms of like what's going on.
But is that bad storytelling?
No, because here's the thing.
I haven't played them, so I'm genuinely asking. Like, is from a perspective of someone who's a storyteller, is that considered bad storytelling to like not be? Because it's like I don't know. Because I feel like when it becomes a game theory and not like a concept, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily a theory after a certain point. Because,
I guess that's fair.
I don't know.
Even I'm like genuinely asking.
Even the devs will like confirm stuff. They'll be like, "Yeah, this is what happened." But also, after a certain point, when you get, there's plenty of theories. There's so many theories out there, all up until like the last game comes out or whatever, and then that's like the final piece of the puzzle where you're like, it makes sense.
Has that happened?
Yeah, I definitely think like there's definitely like a chronological front to back story of Five Nights at Freddy's.
And it's all confirmed.
Yes, I definitely think that,
or at least the major plot points are.
Yeah. The major plot points are. I think some of that is changing as a Help Wanted comes out, which is like the newer
one.
Yeah, the newer ones.
Well, because I'm a big like Kingdom Hearts fan, and I'm a big like advocate of when the game was first created, the story from the most recent game is not.
Sorry, I'm sauced right now.
The story from the most recent game was not written. The intention was not the same. The intention of the story is not the same at the very end. Does that make sense? When the game was first created, there's no way that they expected it to get the way that it did. Like Tetsuya Nomura, the director of the game, the writer, he says that he did, but there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way he went from game one and he's like, oh yeah, this is how we're going to tell this story all the way up until now. You know what I mean?
The thing is that
I feel like FNAF is the same way. There's no way that they made the game with the intention to be that way.
Well, here's the thing: is that like I definitely want to talk about this from my perspective as somebody who is like working to get a creative writing degree and wants to go into the profession of becoming a creative director for a video game company. I think that I think in a lot of cases there is definitely like an overarching story that they definitely want to like explore and push out to the audience, but they can only do so much in their first game.
Yeah.
In order to like get people to really be attracted to it.
And especially with like the format that the game is presented.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like it's not presented in a way to where it's meant to be a deep lore story game. You know what I mean? Like it's not presented like the gameplay does not reflect that.
I think
like the story might be very deep and like deep and clear, or not clear, but like deep and very interesting to the player.
Sure.
But the game itself does not lend itself to telling that story. And like that's kind of the game's fault, in my opinion, and which is why I don't think it's very interesting, in my opinion. It's because when you have to go out of your way to learn things about the game, I think it becomes a problem. That's where my opinion is. Like same thing with like Destiny 2 and like Destiny 1.
I was gonna bring that up as an example.
When you have to go outside of the game to get the extra facts and components about the lore, I just lose interest. It's like, why is it not in the game?
See, but that's the thing, is that I don't think that's our job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that it is our job as a consumer of said video game to enjoy the parts that we are presented with, and we are left with this curiosity. And for some people, that curiosity leads them into diving deeper into the lore and figuring that stuff out. That's for us to, because for Destiny, you have My Name is Bife. Like
My Name is Bife is cool.
Yeah, he's super
cool
sick
creator for sure.
He has like a 6-hour-long video explaining the entire lore.
I've definitely seen like parts of it for sure.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I've watched the entire thing.
Yeah.
Because after a certain point of playing the game, you become curious of like what is what's really happening.
Yeah.
And eventually that curiosity, like, it itches at your brain.
Yeah,
enough
but
that
like,
you gotta scratch it.
But the thing with My Name is Bife is that most of the stuff he talks about is either introduced in the, for Destiny specifically, is either introduced in the game and it's kind of just harder to pick up on as a newbie going through it for the first time.
I suppose so.
Or it's a grimoire card that you insert, that you look at on the internet with Google Chrome because you have to go out of your way to find that information. But that's where the problem comes for me.
Sure.
Is that why not just put that shit in the game? For the people that want to see it the extra mile and the extra length, put it in the game. Like, why is it not in the game?
But that's the difference. That's the thing,
that
is that I think that's the difference between, like, Destiny and a game like, I don't know, I guess, like, Final Fantasy is, like, just a random example.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm assuming, like, in Final
That's
Fantasy...
essentially what I'm comparing it to. Similar
In Final Fantasy, they have, like, they literally lay out everything for you in regards to the
but
lore,
it's
correct?
not like, it's not hand-holdy, though. It's like, you could still watch, like, lore videos. It's just... Everything's in the game. Everything's presented in a cutscene, in a dialogue, in a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it's presented instead of just a card I have to go read online. I think that's abysmal.
Right. But my point is that, like, it's not necessary.
No,
like,
it's not. You can present your lore however you want to.
In my time of playing Destiny, I feel like they're...
I think the Destiny lore is really interesting. Let me preface that as well. I think it's very cool.
Yeah.
But then that's why it annoys me, is because I want to know more about it.
Yeah.
But it takes the extra mile.
I have played Destiny since D1 came out.
Yeah.
I have enjoyed I shouldn't say I've enjoyed every second of it because I've quit playing. But I think the lore is very interesting, and I think that everything that they've presented to us in regards to the story missions, the cutscenes, everything has been relatively straightforward. There's a few names that are thrown out that it's like, oh, I'm not familiar, or there's a few like background stories I'm not familiar.
Stranger.
And they are within the game in the form of like you said, those grimoire cards. But it's not necessarily on us to look at them because it doesn't.
Well, see, and that's sorry. Go ahead.
It doesn't. It's not entirely necessary for the overarching storyline. It's just background information.
Yeah, and I think that's where like the and I guess for me, it's like, I don't know. It's just when you have players that want to go the extra mile, I feel like when you make it inconvenient for them, that's your fault. That's the game developer's fault. You know what I mean? Like, I think that when you really break it down, because I think of games like World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft has so much long.
Right now. I'm so sorry.
World of Warcraft we're coming up on an hour anyway, so we're getting really close to the tail end. But I'm a big World of Warcraft fan. And I think that World of Warcraft does a really good job of presenting all of its lore in game. Very little of the lore that you know about in World of Warcraft is you find outside of the game. It's all in the game, whether it's a textbook in a dungeon, whether it's a cutscene that gives you a little bit extra background, or whether it's a like anything else like that. Everything is presented in game. Well, there's novels, I guess, as well, which is like they write novels,
right?
But like almost like a large chunk of it is presented in game.
But that textbook,
that's going the extra mile.
I imagine you have to go and read that in your own time, right?
Well, I see, and that's why I compare it to the Grimoire cards, but that's online. That's like it's not a database in game.
Yes, it is.
Well, don't they have a database online? Like, I know I'm not misremembering that. I know that
they definitely do. Yeah, but they
like
have
extra lore. Like, not everything's in game. I promise you that.
Really?
I promise you that.
I don't.
Maybe not now.
I think,
but definitely like a while. Like maybe like end of Destiny 1. Or like beginning of Destiny 2, it was not all in game. I promise you that.
Okay. I'm gonna choose to believe you just because I don't know.
Nice. You're taking my statement. I like that.
I'm taking your statement.
I like that.
I'm gonna choose to believe you just because I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm going to find out because I don't like Destiny anymore.
Fair enough. And I don't think it's bad storytelling necessarily. I think it's because it's just world building at that point, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
And so, but I think Destiny 2's story is one of the least interesting things I've ever experienced in my entire life.
You're kidding me, right?
I don't remember a single major character outside of the 4 vanguards and myself.
There's 3 vanguards.
Oh, see, there you go. You know what I mean? Or like I remember that one game, that one guy from the new one. I don't remember his name, but I remember him being kind of a fucking idiot from Neo Muna.
Oh,
the guy who gives you the bounties.
fuck? Cloud? No, not Cloud. What the fuck am I saying? I'm thinking of Final Fantasy.
I don't remember his name.
I'm way too sauced for this right now.
He's like, I always was like, yeah,
Nimbus.
Yeah, me and my friends call him Nimbussy. That's why I'm connected to him so deeply. Dude, fucking video game lore is so interesting. I love video game lore. I think it's like it's such an interesting like way of telling stories that you just don't see anywhere else.
I think that there's a lot of games that deserve more lore that don't have it. And
but whose fault is that?
That's the developers.
Can you give me an example just before we cut off?
You're going to hate me for this.
Oh, God, I am.
Minecraft and Terraria. There needs to be more.
Why in the world would I want Minecraft lore?
Dude.
That's me. I'm the one creating the lore. Who gives a fuck what happened before I was there? I don't give a fuck.
I care.
I don't give a fuck.
I want to know what happened. Like
Terraria, maybe. Because Terraria has different biomes that are 100%. Interesting with like zombies or like bosses and stuff like that. But for Minecraft, for me, all the lore that happens in that world are shit that I did. That checklist is mine.
But I
don't give a shit what happened before I got there.
Dude,
these villagers could have had... I'll kill all the villagers. I don't give a fuck what they did before I got there. To be fair, though, if they had like journals of the villagers, I would read those. Now that I think about it.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But it would have to happen while I was there. It would have to be like... Oh, I'm just like, because like, what would their journal be? I'm a simple farmer that farms wheat, and this fucking golem protects me. There has to
be lore.
Why? Well, there's game lore. The lore in the game is like, oh, you have these on golem that protects the village, and
you have the Ender Dragon. Guys. You have the Wither. Oh shit.
Yeah, sorry, my fault.
You have the Ender Dragon. You have the Wither. You have the Warden. You have so many bosses that don't necessarily have any sort of like background story.
Yeah.
Even when you beat the Ender Dragon, a lot of
interesting.
The end credits are entirely like
that is interesting. I will say
congratulations, like you but like the player. It's talking about you, the player.
But the dialogue, I did find that interesting when I was younger. The dialogue between like the two like entities or whatever you want to call it. I found that interesting. I found that interesting
too, but it's not enough.
But it was never something I needed more of.
It's something that I need more of. It's something that I feel like here's the thing is that like you as a kid reading that dialogue, you might have been satisfied.
Dude, I had fucking chills.
I was dissatisfied.
Really?
I read that and I was like, this is not enough information.
Really?
There has to be more.
I definitely wanted more, but I didn't think it was going to happen. So I tempered my expectations as in terms of like, but because like the goal of Minecraft is that you make your own story. That's like the whole concept. That's the concept of the game. So why does it shouldn't need lore.
I think that
it shouldn't need lore.
But that's the thing is that I think it's important that like sure you are making your own story as a character who just like spawns into the game.
Yeah.
You are creating your own things. Yeah. You are beating these bosses.
Yeah.
You have to know why.
But like
these things exist prior to your arrival.
Let me ask you this. At this point though, at the point in the game that we're at, would you rather them retroactively write lore? Or would you rather it stay vague because retroactively writing lore could suck? Because it's not because you know at this point if they had lore it would have come out at this point, right? And so would you rather them retroactively write lore about the Minecraft world that could be bad, or would you rather it be a vague mystery that creates the sense of wonder in the player, and that's their goal?
I don't know.
I think that's like when it comes to games like Minecraft and Terraria, the goal is different narrative story-wise.
That's the thing is that I think with Minecraft, it's a little bit too late. I feel like they've dug themselves way too deep. With Terraria, I still feel like there's a lot of opportunity.
I think that could be interesting.
Yeah, I still feel like there's a lot of opportunity.
I'm a big advocate of like games that don't have story modes, creating story modes. Like I'm a big like fighting games like back in the day didn't have any story modes, but they have story modes now. Mortal Kombat has such a convoluted story,
such a crazy story.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
And like that's one of my favorite things about a new Mortal Kombat game coming out is playing the story mode.
Yeah,
right. But like that's not them. They've always had lore.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do for Minecraft?
You make a good point,
right? So it's like I don't know. I would rather it continue to be a mystery because in me as a player, that inspires me to be in the world and be like, I'm creating a history for the world. Because like that's the whole point of Minecraft. There's nothing there before you. You are the catalyst for that world succeeding in the way that it is. What do you mean?
There are villages.
You want there to be a god? You want there to be like Sephiroth? And you want like a meteor to crash down on you? Like, what are you talking about?
What I'm saying is that there are villages that exist prior to your arrival. There's no shot. You cannot tell me in a million years that the second you spawn in, these villagers also spawn in and are like, you know what? Let's build a fucking town.
You know what's crazy?
There's no way.
Is I can't kill you that. Because the villagers don't have any fucking lore and they don't have words. So who gives a shit? It's that time, baby. We're past our hour.
But they deserve that. Fuck you.
JS is a little saucy, so I know we're gonna. We could rant on forever, but I'm gonna be the one to end this episode today.
Dude, are you gonna be? All right,
I'm gonna be the one. Do you have any last remarks to say before I make it happen? We're past the hour mark. Is the only reason I'm gonna make it happen.
This is my thing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I don't have any last things to say besides besides that I think you're wrong. Anyway.
Fucking psych. Go ahead.
Thank you guys
Send us out.
so much for listening and watching.
This episode was interesting.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. We appreciate it greatly. Huge shout outs to Pengu Kim for doing our design and Reflexes for doing this music. Guys, we are out on all platforms, being iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, YouTube, all those good things. So be sure to go check us out on every platform. And I haven't done this yet, but guys, we are on so much social media. Be sure to go check out our Instagram, which I'm actually going to look up real quick off the top of my head because I'm definitely not going to remember. I think that's our Twitter. Guys, be sure to go check out our Twitter, which is at the Mind Meld PC. And also, be sure to go check out our Instagram, which is the Mind Meld Podcast. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. We appreciate it greatly.
Thank you.
And Mason, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We got very ranty. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. And we'll see you in the next one.